We are here at the Neil Carey Arena for our white versus black scrimmage for the Lewis men's volleyball team. On the left on your screen, you're going to see the white team come out. Looks like our middles are going to be Tyler Simpson and Peter Vermochil. Outside hitters will be Max Rocky and Daniel Haber. Setter will be Tyler Morgan. Oppo will be Seaver Drolsum, and your libero is Nico Paula. On the right, we have Kevin Calling setting for the red team. Outside hitters John Davis and Chase Selahowski. Middles are Antonio Elias and Michael Sack. Your oppo is Christian Prayer, and your libero is Jason Gibbs. Today is Saturday, actually Friday, November 18th. Kickoff time here for the scrimmage is 5:30. Had about a 10-minute warm-up here, and we're ready to get going here. Looks like the red team will have the serve after the liberos come on the court. So again, Nico Paulo on your left, Jason Gibbs on your right. Excited here to get started for our 2023 preseason red versus white scrimmage. Looks like Christian Prayer might be going back to serve first. Actually not. Looks like white's going to have your first serve. It's going to be Daniel Haber, the 6'6 freshman. Going to go back to serve. He's number 24 in your program. There you go. Haber with the serve. Passed up by Davis. Middle set to Antonio Elias off the block and out, and red takes the first point at 1-0. For the red team, Antonio Elias will go back to serve, leading 1-0. On your left, on the white team, they'll be passing near to you. Haber, Paula, and Rocky will pass to attack as a front row attacker. Elias with the toss. Passed up by Rocky. That's tight. Overpass. Dug up by Paula. Haber sets out to Rocky. Rocky puts this one deep. Dug up by Prayer. We're going to be an outside attack. Nope, back set to Prayer. Paula, Morgan, Rocky puts that one away. And there you go, folks. We have our first point for the white team. We are tied at 1-1. Nice job by Nico Paula, the 6'1 freshman libero out of Tampa, Florida. Cleans up a couple things there. And Tyler Simpson going back to serve. 6'10 redshirt sophomore. Simpson going to bring Peter Vermochil into the front row as a middle with Simpson serving. Passed up by Selahowski. Davis up and over the block for the kill, and John Davis gives red the 2-1 lead and sends senior three-time All-American captain Kevin Calling back to serve. Christian Prayer will go in the front row. Paula, Haber, and Rocky passing. This one's Haber. Morgan, one-hand set to Vermochil. And not handled by the red team. So Peter Vermochil with the kill. Tie the game up at 2. And with that, Tyler Morgan, the 6'7 sophomore out of Dike, Iowa, heading back to serve, tied at 2. Tyler Morgan, the setter, puts Seaver Drolsum into the front row as your oppo. There's the serve. Passed up by Selahowski. Outside set to the lefty. Prayer just crushes that one on the court there. Prayer with point number 3 for the red, giving them a 3-2 lead, sending John Davis, the bearded 6'5 junior from Naperville, back to serve. Selahowski now going to the front row as an attacker. Lewis white team on the left will be passing Rocky, who'll be hitting on the right side for 1. Tucking Morgan back there. Paula and Haber. This is Paula. Haber's going to bring it back into play. Ooh, nobody can get that one. Back-to-back points. The red team gives them a 4-2 lead. Davis with the first point on serve so far for the match. It's been a back-and-forth session. 4-2 lead for the red team. Davis back to serve. Morgan again tucked in the back corner. Peter Vermochil coming in at middle. Seaver Drolsum will be hitting on the far side. Morgan to Drolsum. Tight to the net. That's dug up. Played again. This one's dug up again. Paula doing a nice job back there. Rocky puts that one into the block. Morgan out to Drolsum. And Seaver Drolsum, the 6'7 freshman from Norway, puts that one home to give the white team the side out and a 3-4 deficit, sending Rocky back to the service line. White team trailing 3-4. Rocky back to serve. That pushes Daniel Haber, the freshman, to the front row. On the red team, they'll be passing Davis, Gibbs, and Salahowski. This is Gibbs. Calling's going to be in system. Outside set to Salahowski, off the top of the block and out. Salahowski elevating and using the block. Tool time with Chase Salahowski. And with that, Michael Sack goes back to serve, bringing 6'8" senior Antonio Elias into the front row with a 5-3 lead. White team passing Rocky, Paula, and Haber. Peter Vimochil in the front row, along with Seaver Drolsom. This is Paula. Morgan, back set to Drolsom. Drolsom takes a little bit off that one and drops it in for the kill. And the side out gives the white team point number 4. And Drolsom goes back to serve. Actually, Peter Vimochil goes back to serve, bringing in 6'10", redshirt sophomore Tyler Simpson to the front row. Vimochil, deep and out, and the red team gets point number 6. Red team leads 6-4, and Christian Prayer, the heavy-armed lefty, 6'4", junior, I think, out of St. Louis, back to serve with a 2-point lead. Puts that one off the platform of Haber. Morgan, back to Haber. Haber looks like it's dug up, and Drolson takes that one. Not quite sure what happened there, but it looks like a team red got the point. I wonder if that ball was down on the block there. But team red, point number 7. So leads 7-4. Prayer beckoned for serve by up ref Nacho. Prayer passed up by Rocky. Outside to Haber. Haber off the block. That one's dug. Calling goes back to Prayer, and Prayer denied at the net by Haber and Simpson. So with that, white team earns point number 5. They trail now 5-7, sending Seaver Drolsom, the 6'7" freshman, he might be 6'6" freshman, back to the service line, pushing Tyler Morgan up to the net. There's Drolsom, drops it in, just a bit long, and the red team takes the point. They now lead 8-5. And it looks like Chase Salahowski, the 6'6" redshirt freshman from Germantown, Wisconsin, goes back to serve, pushing the bearded 6'5" junior John Davis as an outside hitter in the front row. Salahowski passed it by Rocky. Morgan, one-handed set, handled by Tyler Simpson. So Tyler Morgan handles a tight set. Nice being 6'7" there, Tyler Morgan. And Simpson puts that ball away pretty easily. And the white team now trails 6-8, sending Daniel Haber back to serve. That pushes Max Rocky to the front row. On your left, Lewis will have Rocky, Simpson, and Tyler Morgan. On the right, Calling a front row setter. Prayer's going to be a back row oppo. This one's passed up by Davis. Calling corrals that one. Out to Davis. That ball is going to be hit just wide. So Davis with a hitting error, and the red team now leads 8-7. Point number 7 for the white team. Daniel Haber goes back to serve. That is the white team's first point on serve of the match. Red team has 100% side out until then. Haber with the high toss. Passed up by Gibbs. Calling's going to be in system. Has 4 attackers. This one goes to Salahowski. Morgan trails that one down. Rocky pushes that deep. Dug up by Prayer. Calling's going to go back row to Salahowski again. This time Salahowski gets the point. And with that, red team now leads 9-6. Going back to serve looks to be Antonio Elias. Gibbs takes a short breather. Michael Sack comes into the front row for the red team. White team will have Seaver Drolsom in the back row, tucked back behind. Morgan is a front row setter. Passing is Haber, Paula, and Rocky. Tyler Simpson attacking front row. Haber not able to handle that serve, and point number 10 for the red team. That's a 10-6 lead for the Lewis red team, pushing their lead to 4 off of the arm of Antonio Elias in the ace. Nacho beckons for serve. Coach Eli gives Antonio the serving signal. There's a serve passed up by Paula. Morgan's in system. Back set to Drolsom, who just sends that one a bit wide and out. And with that, the red team takes an 11-6 lead. Elias goes back to serve after scoring 2 points after the side out. So a side out plus 2 gives the red team a 3-point run The white team looking to stop at this, trailing 7-11. Here's the serve. Passed up by Paula. Morgan's going to be in system. This one's Rocky. Rocky off the block and out. So Rocky stops the bleeding and gives the white team point number 8. So it'll be 8-11 deficit, sending Tyler Simpson back to serve and bringing in 6'6" freshman Peter Vimochil into the front row, playing middle. He'll be flanked on his right by Morgan, and on his right by Morgan, and on his left by Rocky. That overpass handled by Calling at the net off of Rocky's arm. Drolsom dug up, Calling outside to Davis. Davis finds the ground on the white team side, so Davis immediately gets the side out, and the red team leads 12-8, sending senior Kevin Calling back to the service line. Christian Prayer at the net. Nacho beckons for serve. Calling, passed up by Haber. Morgan has to platform this. Seaver Jolsom off the block and deep. Selahowski saves it. And this one, Christian Prayer dug up by Paula. Amazing. Outside swing by Davis. This one's dug up by Rocky. Overpass, dug up by Rocky again. Haber's going to bring this in. Paula's going to send it over. Red team's in system. Calling brought off the net just a little bit. Outside swing to Davis. And that ball is out. And Nico Paula celebrating like a champ. 2 huge digs by the 6'1" freshman libero out of Tampa, Florida. Nico Paula earning point for the white team. Point number 9 gives them a 9-13 trail on the game here, and Morgan goes back to serve, sending Drolsom, the 6'6" freshman Oppo, into the front row. Paula a little fired up after that play. Morgan gets the ball. Nacho calls for serve. White team trails 9-12. Drolsom. Is that Simpson and Rocky? Vimochil and Rocky. Vimochil in the front row. A little bit long on the serve there. Red team takes point number 13. That's a 13-9 lead. Sending back to the service line, John Davis, number 22, the 6'5" junior, and bringing Chase Selahowski, the 6'6" redshirt freshman, to the front row. White team on the left will pass Rocky, Paula, and Haber. This one goes to Paula. Nice pass, putting Morgan in system. Haber plays it. Well, that's Drolsom on the outside there, playing it twice. This ball is to Selahowski. Selahowski down the line and out. And the white team takes point number 10. So a 10-13 deficit by the white team. Just looking to try to score some points on serve here. So far, they've only had one service run where they've scored any points. Let's see if Rocky can change that. Rocky dug up by Davis. Selahowski tips it over. Morgan picks this one up. Rocky takes ball number 2 and sends that off the blocker, off the touch, and out. So Rocky gives the white team point number 11. That's their second point on serve so far this match. So Coach Kirsch giving Rocky the serving signals over there. Eli on the other side trying to respond with some defense and passing rotations over there. Kirsch gives a signal. Rocky with the toss. There's the swing. Ball's in, passed it by Gibbs. Calling. Middle set to Sack. Dug up by Rocky. Put it on the net, and Haber right there to clean it up. So Haber gives the white team now point number 12. And folks, we got ourselves a ball game. White team with a side out and 2 points off the arm of Rocky's serve gives them a 12-13 deficit. The red team passing Davis, Gibbs, and Selahowski. This one goes to Selahowski. That's an overpass. Rocky plays it deep. Would have been close. Morgan at the net, overpass, and Michael Sack cleans that one up. Michael Sack gives the red team a 14-12 lead. Back to serve for the red team. Looks to be Michael Sack. That brings Antonio Elias into the front row, and Sack drops that one into the net, giving White point number 13. So point number 13 for White. We have a serving sub. Looks like Ryan Collins coming in for Peter Vimochil as a serving sub. Tyler Simpson into the front row for the White team. Ryan Collins, a 6-foot redshirt freshman from Dublin, California, puts that one into the net and gives the red team point number 15. So point number 15 for the red team. They're not leading by 2, 15-13. Looks like calling into the front row. That sends Prayer back to the service line. Prayer, wicked arm swing. That one handcuffs Rocky after it clips the top of the tape. Rocky can't do much with that. And Prayer with an ace. So a side out and a point off of Prayer's arm gives them a 16-13 lead. The white team needing to stop this pretty quick. They're down by 3. Nacho beckons for serve. Prayer drops this one in between Rocky and Haber into the court for point number 17. Prayer, 2 points off his arm. Back-to-back aces gives them a 17-13 lead. And the white team has seen enough. They are going to call a timeout, see if they can stop the bleeding. White team trails 13-17. All right, coming back from timeout. Prayer on the service line for the red team, leading 17-13. That's a 4-point lead. White team trying to stop the bleeding. Haber, Rocky, and Paula back to pass. Looks like Tyler Simpson's coming in for an attack from the left, but that one doesn't matter. That's another ace by Prayer. So there's your turkey. There's your three aces in a row for Christian Prayer, giving point number 18 for the red team, and that's a 5-point lead. Prayer back to serve, puts that one in the net. So 3 good aces out of Prayer, and then an air, just what the red team needs. Gives them now what's a 4-point lead. So point number 14 for the white team, given to them by Christian Prayer's air, but not after 3 aces. Back to serve for the white team. It's going to be Seaver Drolsom. That pushes Tyler Morgan as a front row setter. Here's calling outside, back set to Prayer. Prayer off the block and out. So Christian Prayer not only doing it at the service line, but also doing it from the oppo position in the back row. Gives the red team, according to my books here, a 19-14 lead. So pushes that lead back to 5. That is their biggest lead of the set so far, 19-14. So after Prayer goes back to serve, our next server is going to be Chase Salahowski. Puts that one in the net, gives white team point number 15. So now a 4-point deficit for the white team as they send back to the service line. It looks to be Haber. Haber back to serve, pushing Rocky into the front row. Nacho beckons for serve. Haber with the toss. Drops that one in, calling middle set to Antonio Elias, blocked back by Peter Vermochil. Again at the net, Vermochil. This time Vermochil and Morgan double block Salahowski for point number 16. So the white team, points on serve are hard to come by. That is another point on serve for the white team, cutting the deficit to 3. Now they trail 16-19. Red team back to pass. Salahowski, Gibbs, and Davis, who will pass to attack in the front row. There's Haber. This one passed up by Davis. Gibbs sends it way back to Prayer. Prayer passed up by Haber. This is Morgan. Outside to Rocky. Rocky puts that one off the platform of Salahowski. And then Davis makes the white team pay with that in-system attack. So John Davis with the kill pushes their lead to 4, 20-16, bringing in Michael Sack into the front row. Antonio Elias, the 6'8 senior from Puerto Rico, back to serve. Lewis will be passing left to right. Well, near to far. Haber, Paula, and Rocky. Rocky will pass to attack. Tyler Simpson, the front row middle. Passed up by Paula. Morgan, back set to Simpson. Simpson finds the floor on the red team side for point number 17. And with that, the white team now trails by 3, 17-20. Simpson going back to serve, bringing in the freshman, 6'6", Peter Vermochil into the front row. And Liam Buck, the 6'7", redshirt sophomore. How big is Liam Buck? Liam Buck, number 14, coming in as a serving sub. Trailing by 3. Buck sends that one into the court. That one's blocked back and just a little bit deep. Morgan and Vermochil at the net trying to block that one, but sends the ball just a little bit deep. And the red team takes point number 21. Buck doing his job, sending in a tough serve at the net. For the white team, back to serve is calling. Christian Prayer is now a front row attacker. Calling. That ball is just a bit long. The white team takes that point. They take point number 18, so now they trail 18-20. White team looking for a couple points off serve. See if they can get those off of the arm of 6'7" redshirt 6'7" sophomore Tyler Morgan from Dike, Iowa. Morgan goes back to serve, hard float, passed up by Davis, tight to the net. Vimochel handles the ball at the block. Christian Prayer, the hard lefty, that's blocked by Drolsom and Vimochel. White team celebrating big time. Christian Prayer, the lefty, has pretty much had his way this whole set. That's the first time I think he's been blocked. And with that, point number 19 off of the block for the white team. They now trail by 2, 19-21, before trailing by as much as 5. Morgan, hard float, passed up by Gibbs. Calling, back to Davis. Davis immediately blocked straight down by Rocky and Vimochel. So Vimochel blocking right and left with the help of his pin blockers, Morgan and Rocky, the 2 Iowa boys. And with that, Vimochel forces a timeout. Point number 20 for the white team. Timeout, red team. They lead 20-21. 21-20. All right, coming back from timeout here. Tyler Morgan back to the service line. White team trailed by as many as 5. Now down just 1, 20-21. Nacho beckons for serve. Morgan gives it a bounce. Serves a hard float to the red team. Passed up by Davis. Calling have to come off the net a little bit. This time, Christian Prayer's attack does not cross the top tape. And with that, folks, the white team has fought all the way back from being down 5 to now tying it at 21. So the red team's timeout did not stop the momentum that the white team had. And folks, we have a game to 4 here with the red team now tied with the white team at 21. Morgan back to serve. This one played up by Davis. Calling, outside set to Prayer. This one finds the top of the hands and out. So Christian Prayer going over the top with a little tool time action to push their lead to 1 now, 22-21, sending John Davis back to the line, and 6'6" redshirt freshman Chase Selahowski to the net for the red team. The white team will be passing near to far. Rocky, Paula, and Haber. Davis rising from your grave to send that ball off the platform of the white team and out. Looks like it might have caught Paula there a little funny. Davis with an ace and point number 23, pushing their lead to 2 now. 23-21 is the lead for the red team. 23-21, red team. Davis back to serve. Morgan is tucked back behind Rocky. Rocky will swing on the right side. Morgan is a back row setter. Davis off the top of the tape. Not a bad pass to Morgan. This one's Seaver, dug up by the white team. Haber puts it back to Seaver. Seaver off the block and out. So Seaver, the much needed point for the white team, gives them point number 22. So that's a 22-23 game here with Max Rocky, the 6'8" sophomore from Johnston, Iowa, back to serve for the white team. Rocky hoping to give the white team a tie here. Down 1, 22-23. Red team's going to pass Davis, Gibbs, and Selahowski. Rocky puts that at the platform of Gibbs. Calling, back set. Prayer finds him off the block and in. Just scraped off the inside of the block there by Prayer. And that's going to give the the red team, their first match point. They now lead 24-22 according to my books. And in comes serving sub extraordinaire, Jared Phelan. Jared Phelan into the court here to serve as serving sub. Nacho beckoning for serve. Beckons for serve. Phelan with a set point, 24-22. Clips the top of the tape and lands in. According to my books, that is set point. That should be 25-22. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but it looks like we're going to redo that point, or maybe I missed a point earlier. But we're going to take a quick time out here for the white team and come back here with, I think, set point for the set. So we're back here from timeout. Not quite sure exactly what happened there at that timeout there, but Phelan served a dribbler over the top of the net and in. Maybe Dan Friend walked over to Nacho and said, we're not going to let the game finish that way on a dribbler. We're going to have to earn that point. So whatever the case, it's 24-22. Phelan passed it by Paula. Morgan back set to Drolsom. That one's blocked down by Selahowski, and looks like Elias and Selahowski and Elias with a huge celebration. And the red team wins set number 1, 25-22. That's it for set number 1 here, folks. Check out the next video for set number 2 of this scrimmage. You'll find that on the YouTube channel here. Set number 2 coming up shortly.